And remember, there's no video except what we're shooting in the back. You can pick up that whole file off their FTP site at ncaa.org. And after our statement from Coach Checketts, we'll have about 4 or 5 minutes of questions for the two players, and then we will excuse them and then bring in or have the questions for the coach. And same procedure. Suzanne and Jill will have the mics. Wait to be recognized, and identify yourself and your affiliation, and please tell us to whom you're asking your question. Same stuff. So they should be coming in here within the next 4 or 5 minutes. Oh yeah, yeah. You can audio record, but no video. Matches my eyes. It's funny, every time I come up here, at least one day you wish, I need a coat. So I brought it, I'm going to wear it. Yeah. Starting Monday, I may be wearing shorts too, so maybe, yeah. Well, finally I see there's chances of rain Monday, Tuesday. All that does. Yes, I'm here. Okay. The attendance of game one was 20,956, 20956. That's not on the unofficial box that some of you got earlier. Here we are. Yeah, they vet it, make sure everything is yeah. Very what they do, they check for spelling and any factual things that the transcriptionist may have not understood. Well, at one point, at a regional a few years ago in basketball, they asked me to sit down with the transcriptionist who was at the site and kind of translate basketballese. She didn't understand some of the historical references that Mike Krzyzewski was making, for example, and you go back and fill in the holes for her sometimes. So they have to do that upstairs. Yeah. And yeah. So sometimes they, like I say, it's a transcriptionist who is not a sports fan. Okay. The Gauchos are on their way, so we'll be here in a second. Once again, we're going to start off with a statement from Coach Checketts.
First one of the postseason that I'm not as pumped about. So, Shane was outstanding for us today, gave us a chance. Hatch settled in and was really, really good. I thought our guys battled. I thought they were in character early. Put some pressure on them a little bit offensively. I thought our at-bats early in the game were good. We couldn't string them together or capitalize on any of them. And then once they scored, the momentum changed a little bit. I thought we changed a little bit and started pressing a little bit and trying too hard and swinging the balls out of the zone. I think that was a combination of Hatch settling in and being sharper, along with maybe the situation and score of the game. But I thought our guys were competitive and they battled, and it was a good pitcher's duel if you're into pitcher's duels.
Okay, we're going to start off here with questions just to the student athletes. Once again, we'll bring a mic to you and identify yourself and to whom you're asking the question. So right here, Barry.
Jerry Fall, UCSB Radio and Santa Barbara News Press. Shane, another outstanding job by you. And can you tell us kind of how you saw the Oklahoma State lineup throughout the game? They make adjustments, what kind of adjustments you made, and how you were able to really just pitch an outstanding game against a great club?
I didn't see them make any adjustments in particular throughout the game. I think it was just the fourth inning where, I lost my sharpness. I compounded multiple mistakes in a row, and they took advantage of it. Hit the ball hard, and that was the game.
Okay, Mike.
Michael Nana, Baseball America. JJ, I know you doubled off of him, but what did you see from your perspective with what Hatch was doing out there today to be so effective?
I think the first couple innings he wasn't on his game, I would say, and then he kind of settled in the fourth, and he was just a three-pitch mix, locating in and out with the fastball, and that gave us some trouble for sure.
Okay, Mitch.
Mitch Sherman, ESPN.com. JJ, kind of along those lines, did a 1-0 deficit feel bigger or any different than normal because of the pitcher you were facing or the environment you were in?
I didn't particularly feel it. I don't think most of our guys felt like that. I just think he was executing his pitches really well, and we kind of felt like all we needed was a couple good swings, but he did a good job of executing the middle and the last third. He was in and out with the fastball, not really missing over the plate.
Okay. Aaron?
Aaron Fitt, D1 Baseball. JJ, is it fun to play in a game like that where both pitchers are just working so fast and, you know, it's really quick pace of play and it's over in 2 hours, 20 minutes?
Yeah, it's kind of, they were like mirror images going out against each other, the pitching duel. I thought Shane was unbelievable, as always, just working for us and giving us everything he has, and it was fun to watch and fun to play behind him, and it's been fun these last 3 years. So.
Second row.
Matt DeMarinis, White and Blue Review. My question is to Shane. In that fourth inning there, obviously they jumped on you a little bit early, 3 straight hits, and that ends up being the difference in the game. I guess what happened in that kind of quick burst sequence there that kind of got away from you, and then how did you settle in afterwards?
The big thing was leaving my pitches up, off speed especially, falling behind with my fastball, and then when I tried to, mix up my pitches with off speed behind the count, I was leaving them up, and they saw them pretty well. They just got flatter when they were up. I recognized it right away, but couldn't fix it quick enough, and they punished me for it. And I think I just made it a point coming out the next inning to fix that right away.
I hadn't seen you walk around the mound or off the mound as much as you did today this season. In the middle innings, were you battling the heat a little bit? Because you got stronger as the game went on, but it looked like you were really slowing your tempo up a little.
A little bit. Definitely more than normal, but I feel like that's been I've been doing that the last few weeks. I wouldn't say it was the heat. I was kind of just enjoying it, trying to battle out there and enjoy the moment.
Okay. Aaron up here. Joe.
Aaron Fitt again. Coach, have you seen, has Shane's stuff gotten even firmer over the course of the season? It seems like he's as strong now or stronger than he was even early.
Yeah, it's actually been postseason. The velocity's really.
Aaron, let's wait. Just do coach players first. Yeah. We'll get you here in a second. That'd be the first one. Any more questions for the student athletes? Okay.
JJ, you're the ringleader of this team, this squirrely team. You guys have been down. You've been counted out. You're down 1 now. You have to come back through the losers bracket game. I doubt very much that the squirreliness is going to go away, is it?
No, we're gonna have fun out here. I think I speak for all the guys. This was one of the best experiences of my life, and we're not ready for that to end. You know, I'm sure the statistics aren't good on us prevailing or whatever, but the statistics haven't been in our favor the whole year, and we've kind of accepted that, and we're gonna go out and enjoy this, and hopefully win again and keep this thing going because it's a lot of fun with this group.
Okay, this will be the last question for the student athletes here on the second row.
Ken Hamilton with the Journal-Star in Lincoln. For Shane, was there any point where you felt you could have pitched another bunch of innings because you were such command?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that this game should be going on right now. Should be 0-0. My counterpart and I were throwing the ball pretty well, and it was unfortunately that fourth inning where I made all those mistakes in a row and got punished for it. Ended up deciding the game. So I definitely felt stronger as I went on, but just that one inning.
Okay, that'll be it for the student athletes. You guys are excused and back to the locker room. Aaron, you want to re-ask your question? Thank you, man.
I got it, Aaron. I got you. Yeah, the postseason, his velocity's picked up and the stuff's picked up. I don't know if it's been the heat that he's been in that's loosened him up a little bit, but probably for about the last month, he's been a click or two better. And the slider was a little inconsistent today. Came out of his hands a little early occasionally. I think that inning of the fourth where he gave up the run, he missed on a couple of those, but for the most part, his stuff has gotten better, and and I think it'll continue to get better. I think 2 or 3 years from now, I think he's got a chance to be a little firmer.
Matt?
Matt DeMarinis, White and Blue Review. Coach, I guess you mentioned in your opening statement that it was a combination of Thomas's pitching and also a combination of the at-bats you guys put together. But early in those first 4 innings, when you had runners on base and in the scoring position with 1 out, what, from your perspective, happened in those at-bats that you guys didn't do to capitalize on it?
Yeah, I thought our at-bats were good early. I thought we were on the ball. Even, Kalika's leadoff swing that is at Walton, he hits it on the button. We hit a number of balls on the button. And then once we got into that situation, Plantier lines out to the shortstop with runners on first and third with 1 out. It's hard to fault him for that or say, hey, we should do something different. I mean, we were talking about maybe safety squeezing in that situation, and maybe if he got a strike, but he ended up hitting it hard. And then we got picked, or we didn't go back on a line drive at second base with Kalika, and he got doubled off, and that who knows what happens after that. But those are kind of the things that burn us a little bit in those situations.
Sure.
Coach, can you talk about the adjustments that Hatch seemed to make after you guys made him throw a lot of pitches in the first 4 innings? He came back with strikes on a lot of his first pitches after that, but what kind of adjustments did you see that he made after that?
It just looked like he settled in. It looked like he might have had some, early energy, jitters, whatever you want to call it. He was up and elevated a little bit, and then after that he was down. His fastball was down, and breaking ball was coming out of his hand better. I thought early it was coming out a little bit, a little flatter, and late it was coming out looking a lot more like a fastball and had some depth to it. And we had more trouble laying off it in the dirt, and then he was getting ahead in the count.
Okay.
What's the mindset coming back, Coach, for Monday's game? Obviously, you have to win everything now, but kind of like I asked JJ, you guys have been up against that, for the better part of the past month, having to win everything, and you have. Is it just kind of simplifying things and making these guys realize we just got to play today and see what happens?
Yeah, we talked about in the clubhouse a little bit about, there's some stuff we could have done better. Let's make sure that we're processing that and that we're learning from it and we're adjusting so that we can come out and play the same game offensively the next time we play. But once we get the uniform off, we're still playing. We're still here. We haven't been knocked out yet, and so we've got to continue to believe that we can do that and make sure that we're coming out and preparing for that next game, because we can't go back and change anything at this point about today's game.
Okay, any more questions for Coach Checketts? Oh, yeah, Ken, right here.
Ken Hambleton with the Journal-Star in Lincoln. Coach, I know you walk out of here with a loss, but how much fun, enjoyable is that kind of game when you see 2 pitchers in such great control?
Yeah, those guys were special. I mean, there's a reason why both these teams are here, and those 2 guys are a big part of both teams being here. You take those guys out of the equation for either team, and we're not sitting here. And those guys were good today. They were facing, decent offensive teams, good offensive teams, and they were in the strike zone and were able to mix. And there's a reason why those guys are both going to be good pros.
Okay, any more questions for Coach Checketts? Okay, thank you, Coach. We'll see you Monday. Okay. Once again, we'll have a statement from Coach Holliday. Then we'll direct questions to the coaches or to the players, and then after a while, we'll excuse them and then come back for questions for the coach. Okay. So, Josh, congratulations. Give us an overview.
Thank you. Well, I think it's pretty clear that both the young men that took the mound today were dialed in, and Thomas Hatch pitched a fantastic game for us. His catcher, Colin Thoreau, did his part behind him. We played very good defense to help maintain that pitch count and allow Thomas to finish that game. And Benji had a big hit there in the middle of the game that gave us, the deciding run. So 2 excellent pitchers squaring off, pounding the strike zone, and a high-level college baseball game to start the College World Series. So we feel very fortunate to win, and we're excited about just the efforts that Thomas put out there. A lot of courage. It's not the easiest game in the world to pitch. The first game of the World Series has a little buzz and vibe about it to kick things off. So I thought he handled himself exceptionally well, and it's a great win for us to get the tournament going.
Okay, let's start with questions for the student athletes. Why don't you start over here with Matt?
Matt DeMarinis, White and Blue Review. My question is for Thomas. Early on in the first 4 innings, you kind of had trouble, I guess, stringing outs together. They put runners on base with 1 out each time. Was that just kind of getting over the nerves a little bit, or was there something you did to adjust in the middle innings that helped you settle in?
I definitely think there was some adrenaline there, but I wouldn't say there's many nerves. I was in a good place mentally. I was missing high and arm side, and when I tried to get the ball down, I was spiking fastballs, which was unusual, but I was able to make adjustments, and luckily, I don't know how many in a row I went through, but I was able to, calm down and make the pitches I needed to. And then the 9th, I got the first 2 outs, which was big, and that made a pretty good swing. And then, you got a big guy that has a little bit of juice, and luckily I was able to make a couple good pitches there. So.
Okay, Jerry.
Garrett, congratulations to all you guys.
Thank you.
Big base hit against a terrific pitcher like Thomas, one of the best in America. These 2 were terrific. Tell me about the base hit in the 4th inning that scored the only run of the game.
Yeah, their pitcher, he was dotting up pretty much the whole game, just hitting his spots. And right before that at bat, the coaches just told me just get a good pitch and stay convicted on it. And I just trusted that plan and just went through with it. And it turned out going in our favor.
Okay, Aaron.
Aaron Fitt with D1 Baseball. Colin, did it seem like, I know this guy's always got all kinds of life on his ball, but, 10 or 11 or 12 ground ball outs today. Did it seem like he had, in particular, a lot of life compared with usual, or about average?
Well, early on, I was a little worried. I told him after the game, I was like, you were scaring me there. Like he said, he was a little flat and just kind of missing spots, but once he and Rob got together and just kind of made that adjustment, and I think, like he said, the adrenaline wore off a little bit. He got back to doing what he was doing, which was hitting his spots incredibly with movement, which is at a really high level what he does. And, he was doing it with the changeup, the slider, and the fastball, so I think that's kind of what made him so hard to hit. He could throw all 3 of those in any count and just loves to attack the strike zone. So I think really the ground balls come from just him being uncomfortable at bat, really, more than anything.
Okay, right back here.
Jason Ump with Stillwater News Press. Thomas, when you're struggling to find your juice and whatnot, how important is it to just pitch to contact with that great defense you have behind you? 2 double plays, a couple of line drive snags to help you out.
Yeah, no, our defense has played incredible all tournament. I don't think it was any different today. Like I said, I didn't have my stuff, and they're putting the ball in play pretty hard actually in the first 4 innings. But Donnie made a hell of a play, and Benj made a few really good plays, and JR too. So calling behind the plate, and Rob called a great game. So I'm not going to take any of the credit on this game. It was a lot of them.
You can take some credit, Thomas. You can have some.
Steve Bidek, Omaha World Herald. Garrett, before the 4th inning hit, you had made that double play happen. Was your blood pumping a little bit more there? Did that get you going a little bit more for the offense? Talk about that play and then coming back with the big hit.
Yeah, I would say it does. Just, after making a really nice play, it's just human nature to get really pumped up and get the adrenaline going. And I think
I mean, I think it helped a little bit going into the next at bat, but yeah.
Mitch?
Mitch Sherman, ESPN.com. Hey, Thomas, Coach referenced starting the first game of the College World Series and how it's not an easy environment to pitch in. What did you do? You said you were in a good place mentally. What was the process for you to get there, and anything different before this start than normal?
I think just keeping it the same is the biggest thing. You know, the less and less you think about it and just know that it's baseball, the game you played up loving, grew up loving and playing. And I mean, that's what I did. You know, I like to go shag before games and treat it as, you know, any other day. Just keep my mind off of thinking, really, because that's what gets you in trouble, really.
Okay, Matt?
White and Blue Review. Thomas, I think unofficially the last person to throw a shutout in the College World Series for Oklahoma State is your pitching coach. Who gets dinner in this situation?
Well, he's calling the pitches. You know, it's half him, half me. I mean, a lot of it's calling my defense. Yeah, I know. There's too many halves there, but you know, there's a lot that goes into it, and you know, it's crazy. You know, it's coming into the game. I was just trying to, you know, go deep in the game to give my team a chance, and you know, their pitching was incredible too. You know, high execution level, and you know, it was really fun. You know, pitching in a 1-0 shutout, it's tough.
Okay, this will be the last question for the student athletes, Jerry.
Thomas, I forgot to introduce, I'm sorry, Jerry Fall with UCSB Radio and the Santa Barbara News Press. You look like a major leaguer throughout the game, but especially at the end with Bush, because Bradford gets on, he can steal. How did you pitch Bush? What was your thought process? Because if you walk him, then you've got the tying run at second base.
Yeah, throughout the game, I think we went to change-ups a lot. Other than that, you know, you just got to execute your pitches. You know, Rob has the scouting report, and he's really good at it. So I'm going to trust him and just focus on executing and keeping the runner close so he doesn't steal. And you know, he's had an incredible last 2 weeks, I believe. And you know, you just really can't think about that though. You just got to execute. Thank you.
Okay, man, thank you. We'll excuse you now, and then we'll have Coach Holliday. You scoot up.
Okay.
You scoot up.
All right, you guys wait
Thanks,
for me.
guys. See you Monday night.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, questions for Coach Holliday now. Yep. Okay, Jerry, start.
Coach, a lot of people have tried to figure out why the Gauchos are here, how the Gauchos are here. It looked like your team had the approach that a lot of teams in the last 5 games didn't have. You didn't ask any questions. You just said, they're here, so obviously they deserve to be here. We better go out and play like they're number 1 in the country.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. They're here because they earned it, and they earned it in a big way. You know, at this stage in the season, you as coaches prepare strategically based on what you would normally do. But then you let the kids just keep playing the game. It's about execution for them. The opponent can't take on too great of a personality for them. The game is the game. Locating pitches to the glove is locating pitches to the glove. It can't be about who's standing in the box and what school he's at. If you allow that to happen, then you get into the ups and the downs and the perception game. That doesn't really allow you to execute. It's about the pitcher, the catcher. It's about the kids fielding the ball, and we know everyone here deserves to be here. You can't get here anymore by accident. The levels you have to play through to get to Omaha are legitimate levels. And to go on the road and win 4-team tournaments and best-of-3 series, every team here got here because they earned it. So we know that, but we want our kids to just focus on executing baseball within themselves. And whoever we play, it's part of the competition, but it has to be secondary to our thought process.
Okay.
Josh, Sean Ryan from collegebaseballinsider.com. With Thomas's injury from last year, could you have envisioned the kind of season he put together this year and to really be on this stage and having this moment?
No. I mean, when a kid misses a season due to injury, you're just hopeful they can get back and resume their careers and, you know, get back to contributing and having fun and enjoying the game again. For a kid to return from injury and become a conference pitcher of the year, first-team All-American, and put together some of the outings he's put together, that is, you know, that's exceptional. He's an exceptional pitcher. And credit to Thomas for staying with it. Credit to Coach Walton for staying with the kid and bringing him along. Our athletic trainer, Eli Williams, who spent hours with that young man, helping him get back on his feet. So a lot of people showed a lot of care, a lot of time, and a lot of effort in the young man, which is what we're about, is serving these kids and helping them. And the return for the team and for the kid has been exceptional. So it's a great story. And the kid has done his part, and he's had great people behind him helping him get back on the horse. And he's been exceptional. To think you could have anticipated that, I don't see how you could have.
Okay, Matt, once again.
Matt Arenas, White and Blue Review. Coach, going into the ninth inning, knowing that you're going to have to deal with Butch if a runner gets on, I guess, what was your conversations like with Thomas, knowing that he was, given the heat, the pitch count, and all sorts of things, and the 1-1 lead? What was your conversation about how much margin for error you were going to let him work with?
Well, we knew where he was at with his pitch count. His execution, the 3 innings prior to it, was exceptional. He was making his pitches. He tired a little bit in Clemson in similar conditions after 7 innings and 100 pitches. Today he seemed a little bit more, refreshed, if you will, after the middle innings. He really had to grind in the early innings today. But in the middle innings, he got back smooth and coasted a little bit in the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. So there was a little bit more left in his tank in the 9th if he needed it. So, and to get the first 2 out quickly, but you know the rules of baseball. You're never getting out of that thing without the big guy getting to home plate. That's just how baseball is. The home run hitter always gets to home plate. So the decision was to continue to sink the ball and try to keep him from elevating the ball in the air, which we've all seen the highlights of how they got here, and he's elevated the ball, or to go to the bullpen and maybe bring in a left-handed breaking ball and try to keep the ball off the barrel by moving it a different direction. But with the nerves and the adjustment to that mound in that situation, we had a guy that had settled in really well. We were going to stick with the guy that had made 112 quality pitches at that point and let him finish what he started. So I think Rob, he has an exceptional feel for the kids, and he made a very good decision, how to manipulate and manage Thomas late.
Okay, right here.
Teddy Cahill, Baseball America. It looked like you liked that note about Rob having the last Oklahoma State shutout. I mean, what's your favorite part about that?
Well, my favorite part is just sharing all the cool experiences of being here with our team, but then also appreciating the unique history that Rob has with Oklahoma State, with the College World Series. He played here 4 times. How many people get to say they did that? He threw a shutout. His son's getting to play here. Just some things for us that we're just, we're capturing those moments. That's why you're here, and it's why you celebrate this, and you take a picture, and 20 years from now, they're going to look at that, and that's going to be a real source of pride. And so to hear that doesn't surprise me. Rob's unbelievable at what he does, the job he's done with our pitchers, but really our whole team. He's an extension of leadership for our program, and so I love hearing about those good nuggets of our history, and we're very proud of OSU baseball history. This is our 20th trip to Omaha, and for a long time, we were a fixture here, and that was something that our program and players who played here and our fans took an amazing amount of pride in. So trying to get back into that mode is something that we've been very determined to try to do.
Okay, we'll have just time for a couple more questions. Thank you, Bill. Jerry?
Josh, knowing that you're going to have 2 outstanding pitchers going, you've managed a lot of games, knowing that there are going to be very few scoring opportunities in a game. Do you manage it differently than you would, say, another one?
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting question. You have to have a pulse of how the game is moving, how the park feels like it's playing on that particular day, and just how the back and forth and the flow of the game feels. It felt like 1 run today was worth maybe 3, just because it didn't seem like things were coming easy for offense, right? So, yeah, you would probably play for a run any chance you could as that game progressed, but they're hard to score on. He's quick to the plate, throws a ton of strikes, the catcher can throw, they'll pitch out. That leaves you very limited attacking plans. So you either have to string together base hits, which we were able to do once, or lay down a sacrifice bunt and then go for a base hit, which we tried early. So it's just a strategy of the game and the flow of the team, and their bullpen had a swing and miss lefty down there with a nasty slider. So you got to ask yourself how you want to try to maneuver the lineup each time it rolls through and try to score. So, there's strategy to every game for sure. And how the game feels like it's going affects your thought process.
Okay, time for one last question. Okay, right here.
Josh, Mark Etheridge, D1 Baseball. With the way, there's been a lot of discussion about how this ballpark plays, and it certainly plays different than a lot of ballparks around the country. How do you feel like your team fits in the style of play that you really have to play here in Omaha?
I think good. Yeah, I think good. I think, first you got to be able to run the ball down the outfield because gaps are big, and we run pretty well across all three spots. And I think it's an awesome place to catch a ground ball. Grass is extremely well manicured, and the dirt has excellent rhythm to it when the ball bounces. So I think it's a great place to defend grounders, and the mound's exceptional. So sometimes parks play a certain way because whatever side of the ball you're on, you have confidence. The mound feels great. You like the rhythm of the ball coming to you, so you're a high level, confidence level's high on defense. And then I think it's a good park to hit in. I think you just got to make sure you keep your barrel above the ball, to peel off and launch a 390-foot fly ball to center and come back and say, I just missed it. Well, we knew coming in that we needed to get above the baseball, right? So that's just the discipline to take your approach and train yourself right. And, that's just part of the great challenge of coming here and keeping your adrenaline under control and sticking to your plan.
Josh, we'll see you Monday night.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Monday night.